Hi, I'm Lisa Lovejoy, sports dietitian with MultiCare, here to talk with you about event day nutrition. While there's nothing you can do on race day that will make up for a poor training diet, there are some things that you can do to help maximize your performance on event day. The biggest thing we want to do is make sure that you have energy available for your working muscles. Working muscles use carbohydrate for energy, and the more intensely you're working, the more carbohydrate you're using in that moment. So we want to make sure that your carbohydrate stores are maximized and you have energy available when it's time to go. The way we do that is with your pre-event meal. Ideally, we want to aim to have that pre-event meal about 3 hours prior to the event itself. Some examples would be, for a morning meal, oatmeal with a glass of milk and maybe a banana. For a lunch or an evening meal, you could have a sandwich with a piece of fruit and also a glass of milk if your body tolerates dairy before you exercise. Or the traditional bowl of pasta with some veggies and also perhaps a glass of fruit juice if you don't care for milk. If you have an early morning event, for example, an early morning road race, you may want to have your pre-event meal the night before and then top off with a good snack in the morning. While we're talking about topping off with a good snack, sometimes it doesn't work out that we have that pre-event meal 3 hours prior. For example, a high school athlete who's competing right after school. It may have been many hours since they had lunch, so topping off with some quality carbohydrates that are easy to digest and absorb would be great in about an hour before the event itself. Some examples for what you would want to have then would include perhaps a banana or these applesauce containers that you can just squeeze out and you don't even need a spoon for. Great source of quality carbohydrates in an easy to digest form that is readily available and also easy to pack. As a dietitian, I always want to encourage folks to get their carbohydrates from things that also have some nutritional value, like fruit also has vitamins and minerals and fiber. But on event day, when working muscles need carbohydrate, they don't know or care where that sugar came from. So don't take away that the dietitian told me I should eat candy all the time, but if you're looking for a way to get carbohydrates in a form that you like and can tolerate right before your event, go ahead and have a little bit of sugar. Something like a candy or a granola bar that's grain-based that has carbohydrates in it and a little bit of sugar, that's okay. Or something that brings back happy memories like my personal favorite, animal crackers. They're easy to digest and absorb, they have some sugar in them, they're easily packable, and they taste great. If you prefer something a little bit more savory, you could go for a handful of pretzels, or these are corn snacks, which are actually a grain and give you good carbohydrate with a salty taste instead of a sweet taste. For events that last an hour or less, water itself is probably plenty. But if you're exercising for more than an hour, you may want to have some carbohydrate coming in during the activity itself. For an event like soccer, for a player who's playing the whole game, that's 90 minutes of activity and there are very few breaks. So having something at halftime would be ideal. Having a quality source of carbohydrate and some hydration in the form of a sports electrolyte beverage would be one option. That way you can hit your hydration and your carbohydrate needs at the same time. Or you could go for a sports nutritional like shot blocks or a goo. These are more concentrated, so make sure you're drinking plenty of water if you use these because we don't want to upset your stomach. Last tip, hydration. Nothing will derail your performance faster than being inadequately hydrated. So make sure you're drinking plenty of water before and also during your event if possible. The guidelines are you want to have 2 cups of water 2 hours prior to the event so your body can absorb what it needs and excrete what it doesn't. And then the guidelines are 20 to 40 ounces per hour during activity, but very few athletes actually get to that goal. So just make sure you're listening to your body and taking in as much as you can comfortably take in during your performance. Making sure you have what you need available for your performance may require a little bit of planning, and you might even need to pack it and bring it with you. As you can see, the things that I have examples of here are all individually packaged, or if they come in larger packages, you can put them in smaller containers yourself. And make sure that you put them in your gym bag so you have what you need for your performance. These are some tips that will help athletes in general perform their best. But if you'd like to work on how you can perform your best at your next event, come see me.